Hello, social media navigators.
Hey, listen!
No, not those navigators. You navigating through the social media platforms and checking this video out. Thank you very much. If this is your very first time checking this video out or the channel in general, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for checking this out again. Thank you for coming back to us and checking our videos out. I appreciate it very much. Today I'm doing kind of two things in one video. First, as you may already noticed on the title, I'm doing a top games video. In this case, a top 5 Sonic the Hedgehog games in my personal preference, which is kind of my second point of this video. It is my second time doing a response video. In this case, it's a response video to my bot, Dr. Josh. Go ahead and check out his channel out. He's also a video gamer, the gamer of all gamers, the real gamer. Go ahead and check him out. He keeps it real, he keeps it raw, unedited footage, just as real as it gets. Go ahead and check him out. And Dr. Josh, Mr. Josh, my bot, Josh90, this video is for you. Thank you very much. This is a response video. Let's get to it. My top 5 Sonic the Hedgehog games. Oh! Damn! This Lord Farquaad hairdo I have today, Jesus, is annoying. But hey, I got my top 5 Sonic the Hedgehog games. Man, did your favorite make my personal favorite list? I don't know, let's find out! God damn this hair! Before I begin my top 5 Sonic the Hedgehog games, there are a few that I just want to get out of the way because I don't think they were really Sonic games. In my personal opinion, whether you agree or not, let's just begin by number 1, just agree to disagree. Something that you will hear me repeat over and over again in this video. So let's agree to disagree on these games that, in my personal opinion, again, I think they were just cash grabs. They were just side games that had nothing to do with Sonic, but yet they just put the Sonic brand into it, I guess just to try to do a quick cash grab. And that's what I thought back in the day when I got these games. I'm like, well, I'll check them out. They're Sonic the Hedgehog games, they can't be that bad. And actually, some of them are not bad. But I don't consider these, I wouldn't consider these actual Sonic the Hedgehog games. So, one of these are 2 racing games, 3 racing games that I have here. One is Sonic Free Riders for the Xbox 360, Sonic Rivals for the PSP, and of course, Sonic All-Stars Racing. This is actually a really good game. But again, those were just cash grabs. Everybody's doing the racing kart games. Everybody's doing, you know, something similar concepts. And these were just some other games that got Sonic brand stamped into it. Sonic Battle 2. It's just a fighting game. Pretty much navigating to what it seems to be a Sonic world. So, I wouldn't consider those Sonic games. Definitely not on my top 5. Oh, wait, there's one more. Well, there's 2 more. Where are you, sucker? Oh, of course, right in front of my nose. Sonic's Pinball. I hate this game, but hey, as a collector, you gotta have Sonic games, right? You gotta have them, you gotta have them. And Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine somewhere. Damn it, I threw them all out there. I don't know where it went, but no, those are not Sonic the Hedgehog games, especially that Sonic Pinball. I freaking hate that game. It's just a pinball game, okay? With Sonic things stamped to it, Dr. Robotnik being... Come on, dude. Come on. Those are not Sonic games. Let's agree to disagree with that. Now, this video consists of my personal top 5. In no way, shape, or form do these signify what the top 5 of all time Sonic the Hedgehog games were. No, these are just my personal picks, and let's agree to disagree. Now, let's get to the cake. Let's get to the sweet icing of this video.
Number 5.
Yes, so I placed Sonic Advance 2 at the bottom of my list. Not because it's a bad game. If you ask me, I think it's the best of the 3 Advance games. But I'll come back to that in my 4th place game. I gotta say though, the levels were fun and they all had that fast Sonic pace rhythm going on throughout the whole entire game. Not to mention the new abilities and mechanics that you can do with each one of the characters' abilities that you could use to your advantage to help you expedite the process of getting through any specific areas or levels. Level designs were top notch, considering of course that they were on a handheld device. The thing that annoyed me the most about Sonic Advance 2 is the exact same thing just as it did in the original Sonic 2. Collecting and going after the emeralds. Although nowadays could be considered a fun challenge, back in the day when the internet and guides were a limited accessibility for some of us, collecting and going to these emeralds, because you have to pick them up in a specific order. So you knowing as a kid that you had to go in a specific order and hunt for these emeralds was quite a task. And most kids did not have a clue and did not have an idea that they had to collect these in a specific order. Most kids did not have a clue and did not have an idea that they had to collect these in a specific order. Even if you got to go through the portals into the special stages or bonus stages, if you want to call it that way, they actually sucked. One thing I gotta say about Sonic Advance 2, and hold on before you get your pitchforks out, because I know you will, and I know I will get some hate for this, but it's natural. Let's agree to disagree, remember? So Sonic Advance 2 ramped up in speed. The way Sonic moved throughout the whole levels, it was just like I found myself becoming an orchestra conductor. Like oh shit, like, well, it was a handheld of course, so you will be like this and you'll be like, oh shit, where am I going? Well, any given level could have easily be completed within a matter of seconds, especially for the speedrunners. So for any average gamer, maybe in the 1 minute mark, no more than 2 minute marks, just because, not because they were short levels, and in the contrary, actually they were bigger levels than on the original Sonic Advance, but just because of how fast you were going, jumping, looping and spinning, you would probably get through a certain levels, some of them, pretty quick. Although this was not a bad thing, it sure played, and I know it did, played against my odds, because when you were hauling ass and jumping and swinging through the platforms and trampolines and everything that was going on in the screen, when you least expected, you were falling to your doom. You were falling, you were at the bottom of those bottomless pits. Last thing I want to say about Sonic Advance 2 is that the boss battles were not in any way similar to any other Sonic games. All of them had the scrolling, running stages. That's something that I wasn't so keen of, because in my case I prefer a steady screen. Yeah, once in a while I wouldn't have mind the running, scrolling boss battles, but it seemed, if I recall it right, this was the case for every boss battle in Sonic Advance 2. So that was my personal preference, and that wasn't something that I really enjoyed at all.
Number 4.
I chose Sonic Advance, the first one, in my number 4 spot, because in my personal view, it's the one that revived the series. It's the one that brought the Sonic series back to its roots after those miserable, awful 3D platformers, or if you even want to call it platforms, but all the newer gen games, Sonic games that is, were just awful. And I'll go into that in just a minute as well. Although it wasn't graphically better than Sonic Advance 2 and 3, it sure was better than most other grainy looking Game Boy Advance games. I would say this was the true successor to the original Sonic trilogy. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, they all feel really well as far as controls. You could also play as Amy, which in my preference, it didn't feel as fluent. She felt kind of sluggish, but that's just me. Maybe it was your favorite character to play with. But it was nice to see that these basic 2D platform Sonic games had multiple playable characters from the start. On Sonic Advance 1, of course. I reiterate, I'm not taking into consideration the newer Gen 3D Sonic games because they also had playable characters, but they just sucked ass. Seriously. I'll touch more on that in just a minute. Last, I want to say that these Sonic Advance games, they were all originals. They were not remakes, and they all had their own little touch, their own little concepts to make it as originals as they were. Of course, not to mention the selection of characters that you had to choose from. Of course, Sonic 2, Sonic Advance 2, you had to unlock them, but still the option was there, and they were not hard to unlock. Music wasn't bad. It wasn't memorable, but it did the job of being adequate to these Sonic games. Not like the trash of the newer gen games. You don't want to listen to that. Bonus stages on Sonic Advance 1 weren't that great either. They kind of sucked too. But it didn't take the fun out of the game. The concept that grabbed me by the balls and made me scream, "Oh my god, this is great!" and left me in awe was the battle against Knuckles, which revived me and took me back to, of course, Sonic and Knuckles game. Oh my, was that a trip to past times.
Number 3.
Sonic 2. Hold on. I know, you got your pitchforks ready now. I feel them coming through the camera. I know. Why is it number 3? It is number 1. It is the best Sonic game to many of you. And I acknowledge that, I respect that, and I get it. But let's agree to disagree that this isn't the case for everyone. Sonic 2 is not the top of the Sonic games for many of us. Well, it is on my top 5. Yes, this was graphically better than Sonic 1 with clean-up graphics and polished sprites and all of that. It was all good. It was all a brand new shiny game. The introduction of speed boosts, bigger levels, longer levels that look like mazes. Hell yes, who doesn't want that? Me, I'm the type of explorer. I'm the gamer that likes to explore. But with that came kind of the holdbacks for those of us who just kind of suck sometimes at games. Bigger levels, bigger disasters. Levels were not just levels, they were big mazes. And for those of us who like to explore, it was like heaven. Sonic 2 was the true appreciation for it. It was like an orgasm to the eyeballs. The cleanup, the exploration of every single inch of pixel. But now I come back to what I just mentioned a minute ago. Because these levels were so crazy and so immensely huge, of course at the time, it was really easy to miss the star posts. Trying to find the star posts in order for you to be able to portal yourself through the golden rings to get to the special bonus stages was quite a task. Again, that may seem like an awesome challenge nowadays, but for those of us who grew up with no guides, no game facts, there were no game facts back then, we were lost. And of course, the downfall of that was that we didn't get to see Super Sonic at the end of the game. We didn't get to play as Super Sonic. That was a miserable experience. That kind of put Sonic 2 down in the grave for those of us who didn't experience the game at its full capacity. That was unless you had a friend who might have heard from a friend, that came from the friend, that came from out of state, from the family and the neighbor. That was the only way you would find out the specific order for you to go into the star post, of course proceeding to the bonus stages. Oh my god, now I'm probably gonna get stoned to death. But let me be candid with you and say that Tails annoyed the shit out of me. Why? Well, because he mimics your movements, and unless you were a pro at the game, you know, you had to specifically time your jumps for you to follow a trajectory jump into whoever you were trying to attack, whether it was an enemy or a boss, well, likely a boss, for you to be able to make Tails jump into the same trajectory of the boss that you were trying to jump onto or kill. Because otherwise, if you didn't time that right, Tails was just useless. I think Tails was just a gratuitous character. He was a hindrance rather. I mean, half of the time he was just falling through the pits when you were jumping through different platforms or moving platforms. You would just hear the dong. Like, he was unnecessary, I think.
Number 2.
Well, I got Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles in the same spot, and I think these were the best of the trilogy. Why are these not my number 1 then? I'll elaborate on that in just a second. I'm combining these two games because if you didn't happen to know, these were kind of one game split into two. Due to the limitations of the cartridges at the time, there was no way for them to put this much data into one. So what they ended up doing was making kind of, nowadays you would say, an expansion to the original game. But their mechanics were the same from one another. The graphics on these puppies were by far the best. The story overall, along with the cutscenes, were concise, just like I like my stories to be. Not overdone, not exaggerated, and different from the original Sonic 1 and 2. On this third installment of Sonic the Games series, the original trilogy that is, you could pick Sonic and Knuckles right from the start, and you didn't have to be stuck with a useless sidekick along the way. Heck, now you can climb walls with Knuckles, you can glide. Oh, and the bonus stages, they were by far my favorite. Much better than those annoying tunnel vision, well, tunnel 3D bonus stages as it was in Sonic 2. And in order to find these bonus stages, I didn't think they were as cryptic to find as it was on Sonic 2. So that was a plus for me.
Number 1.
Yes, with not much choices to go, you might have guessed well, and it might have come in as an obvious last choice. Sonic 1 is my number 1 of Sonic games. The one who started it all, the pioneer of all Sonic games. Yes, this is my favorite Sonic game. Simplistic, schematic, and challenging enough for the time. Not a single zone was similar to the previous one completed. Music was perfectly adequate for each one of their respective levels. Not a single level was boring. They were perfectly designed without compromising any gameplay elements. The water levels felt like water levels. The sluggish walking, the floating feel, the aesthetics of it, the layers, the levels were just superb. Speaking of water levels, I have a confession to make. Third act, Labyrinth Zone. Unless you make a specific jump onto a left platform, you're gonna keep on sliding and sliding and sliding and sliding down until you make one particular jump onto the left platform, which is kind of hidden. I remember the first time I played this third act, I remember seeing the animation of Sonic just sliding down, sliding down, sliding down, and I couldn't contain myself. I was cracking up out loud. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen up till then in any video game. It was the funniest shit. I was cracking up. I couldn't stop laughing for the longest time, for as long as I remember. The biggest laugh I ever got out of a video game. So when I entered the zone and I was just sliding on infinity or to infinity and beyond, because I couldn't figure out how to get out of that. Oh my god, I was laughing my lungs out because it just kept going for I don't know for how long. It seemed like forever, but a good couple of minutes just non-stop sliding. And I kid you not, this scene, this part of the gameplay, I kid you not. Here's my confession. It made me pee. Yes, it made me pee. True story. This was not a little squirt pee or a little oopsie. No, this was a full-blown bladder that exploded in my pants. All because of this scene. Thankfully, I was playing alone and no one witnessed my nasty ass pee-pee platter. And this is how Labyrinth Zone became my favorite of all Sonic zones. And get this, I thought this was the toughest zone in the whole entire game, if not one of the toughest on the original trilogy. So just to go on to say that I do like challenges. I don't mind challenges, just as long as they're always fun or interact, and as long as it has elements for you to being able to keep on playing and keep trying no matter how many times you die. Now you may be wondering, wait a minute, where are all the other Sonic games? Sonic Forces, Sonic Black Knight, wait, no, hold on, Black Knight, are you serious? No. God damn, no, let's not touch that territory. Where's like Sonic Adventures, the series? No, well, I didn't go into those games. First of all, my god, yeah, let's talk about these just for a brief minute. I'm not going into a full review. Have you seen the voice acting on these suckers?
Time no see.
Sonic, check this out.
Guess what, Sonic Heroes? I finally developed the ultimate weapon in 3 days.
Yeah, so the new gen 3D Sonic games. I mean, goddamn, let's just take a listen to it. Take a look at how hideous, how awful some of these introductions are. That just immediately will turn off any gamer nowadays, because not only are they bad now, they were bad then. Just listen and take a look at it.
Here we go! You can press the A button to jump.
Oh,
No problem. If you press the B button while cornering, you can drift.
serious.
No problem.
Leave it to me.
Oh,
Let's go.
God.
Jay,
Yes.
Pile of garbage.
Let's line up that way
Shit.
from here on.
When you lose a life, you restart from the last one you touched. The leader's level increases too.
Again, just gimmicky shit to try to show off the 3D graphical capabilities, which that's the only thing I'm gonna give these games. They look good. Most of them actually look good. Some of them were glitchy, but overall good. But that's it. Nothing else went past that. Story sucked, voice acting sucked, soundtrack, score sucked, the music. I mean, I know it was the 90s, the early 90s, but goddamn, I mean, why were they trying to go for the typical white boy band? And nothing against that type of music. I get it, I enjoyed it. I mean, yes, I enjoyed Green Day, I enjoyed Linkin Park back in the day, but this is not the type of music you put into a Sonic game. No, that's a big no-no. So, well, that's another story for another day, like I say, on the Sonic Adventure series. God damn, they're terrible. I think on one of them, I wanna, if I recall it right, Tails, it's literally a kid voice acting his voice. If I recall it right, forgive me if I'm right on that, if I'm wrong on that. But goddamn, as you may have noticed, my list was vastly populated by 2D side-scrolling games. So, if you're wondering how come I didn't put other cool 3D games, that's because that's what Sonic represents to me. A cool, just basic 2D platforming game. And that's what Sonic meant to me, and that's what Sonic it is to me. But moving on forward with the movie, I couldn't be more excited, and I see some people already cheating on it. But what can you possibly expect from a video game adaptation? I see people talking about the acting already, how bad it is. What can you, in the sakes, can you possibly expect from a video game adaptation? Acting's supposed to be quirky, it's not supposed to be Oscar quality Grammy thing shit. It's not supposed to be. None of these games or the actors, not that they're bad actors, they have a really good cast, but even if they're the best actors, they're not supposed to be like shooting for an Oscar on these type of movies. They're supposed to be quirky. They're supposed to be, I don't know, just stupid. They're supposed to be goofy. So don't have high standards. At the end of the story, this is just supposed to be an entertaining movie, and I reiterate, before the box office comes out, you heard it from me first, I think this movie has potential for a sequel. I hope it really does well. Hey, Birds of Prey opened up with only 30 million, 33, I don't know the exact figure, but only on the 30 millions. I'm sure Sonic the Hedgehog has potential to open with a good at least 50 mils. I know that it has potential for that. I don't know what their projections are, but I wish them well, and at everyone at Paramount Studios, the directors, the producers team, the actors, I think you guys have something good in your hands. And I already got my tickets, my advance tickets. I bought them a couple weeks ago, and I'll be supporting your product because not only because as a fan, not only as a fanboy, but it looks good. I mean, it's not like I have my bar set this high for a video game adaptation. Come on, guys, get your goddamn head out of the gutter and stop expecting an Oscar level quality movie from these type of movies. But oh well, everyone has their own point of views, their own critiques, and that's totally fine. But we can talk about the movie later after it has been released. The movie looks really entertaining, and I truly believe it has potential for a sequel, even though I haven't seen it. I know they can do it, and I think they ended up doing a very well done job. Until next time, thank you very much for checking this video out. If you liked it, don't be shy to subscribe for more videos like this, more video game content. Give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, why not? Don't be shy and give us a thumbs down as well. Who cares? We don't care about those, the likes, the dislikes. But yeah, if you liked it, subscribe. We'll have many more to come. But until next time, thank you very much. This has been a blast. My bud, Dr. Josh, I hope you enjoyed this movie. I mean, no. I hope you enjoyed this review of my top 5 Sonic the Hedgehog games. And I hope you guys enjoy the movie. I hope you like it. Come back and comment or shoot me a message and let me know what you think of these. Do you agree with my list? Probably not, and that's totally fine. Comment down below which are your top 5, your top 3, or whatever top Sonic games. Take care, and until next time. Bye.